Hey guys, welcome back or to the channel. This is Aether Garage, and I'm currently looking for a motorcycle for my girlfriend. I was only given these two photos, and this is where it's located. It says Etobicoke, but it ends up being in Scarborough.
You guys are here for the bike?
Yeah.
You guys want to come to the back or should I bring it here?
It's up to you. Which is easier?
Honestly, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Follow for the back.
Yeah, we'll follow you to the back. It's easier that way.
Alright.
He's so little.
I know.
I'm like, where are you?
He's got a nice car though. The Nissan 350. So in the ad, it said that he bought a new car. He's got a Nissan 350. It's all souped up, kind of has a fart cannon exhaust, you know, the big loud ones that everybody loves. And it's kind of reminiscent of like a Honda Civic of the 90s. Nice car, nicely done, and this is why he wants to sell his motorcycle.
He's so little though.
Yeah, well, so are you. Well, you guys can do the talking. I'll just listen.
I don't know how to do the talking. You better butt in.
Okay.
Oh, that's the bike there. So it is kept outside.
Okay.
How are you guys? You bike? He doesn't bike.
My dog's gonna be so jealous.
It's a little dirty. I haven't washed it off.
That's fine. The bike's for her, not me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's 10,000 kilometers. Yeah, this does need I haven't got to that. That's just some handwork. And then I fixed the carburetor on it
Okay.
because it clogged up or whatever during the winter. So I cleaned it. That was the only problem. I have a custom exhaust. I have the soft one upstairs. So I can obviously give you guys that if you guys want that. This one's pretty loud. But
Depends on what she wants. You dropped it at all?
it's been dropped, yes.
I
Once.
was gonna say it looks like it.
Yeah.
Can you turn it off?
Yeah.
Of the video where I was bent down and I was checking out the shifter. Now this is just a plain Jane shifter. It'd be better on my 500. So I was taking a look at the shifting mechanism. Obviously this one's different than one you'd find on a 300. But when I was moving it up and down, there was a lot of movement. You don't see any movement in this, nor that, or here. And then it was bent too. So I replaced this, cost me 150 bucks from Honda. That's why it cost me that. But if I was to get that replaced, I'd be looking into that, plus the tires. So we're already like $550 if I do the installation myself at $2,000. So you're like $2,600 before the bike even gets inspected. I also found issues with the brakes. So on this bike you have rear disc. The other one had rear disc as well. And the rotor itself was chewed. Both the front and the rear. The brake pads were decent, but if the rotor's done, there's another $100. So I was inspecting the tires on the bike, and these ones are no good, but these ones are actually better than what was on the bike itself. Yeah, tires are no good. You can turn it off if you want. So at this point, I'm checking the chain, make sure she's good. This one could use a bit of an adjustment, but it wasn't bad. Their chain was completely dry, and when I moved it up and down, it felt like there's a lot of friction.
But yeah, I don't think soon enough you're gonna need a new one. I think. I'm thinking.
Oh, the front tire is.
Yeah, the front tire is definitely gone.
Yeah, you got cracks in the front tire. It won't pass safety. Every tire has a 4-digit stamp on it. So 2 digits for the year, 2 digits for the month. So the date code that I'm looking for, this is on the Grom, is right there. So 40 to 21. This bike is a 2022. So this was done in the 40th week of the 21st year. So 2021.
tires on it.
Yeah. So he just said he bought it with those tires, which means he never got it properly safetied. I guess anybody could have guessed that by now. So, what are your thoughts? I was just asking her what her thoughts are.
I like it. I don't really care what it looks like on the outside because now I want to paint it.
True. Well,
What do you think?
well, I'm not too sure yet. I figured if you allow her to sit on it. So you can see their body language in that last little clip that they're not happy that we know a little bit about bikes. So I let my girlfriend sit on the bike, and after that I kind of put 2 and 2 together, looked at everything, and well, you'll see in the next little clip. As long as you can touch the ground, you're good. Yeah, just careful. So the next things I checked was the front bearings. So once you hold the handlebars, which you can do, and you move this back and forth, you can kind of check the bearings a little bit. The next thing I checked is if you hold this still, which you can do just by wrapping your leg around it. So if I go like this for the front part of the bike, and then I pull the handlebars back and forth, I can check to see a little bit of the neck bearings, see if they're good. I was checking the rotor where the brake pads are to see if there's any damage. There was a little bit, wasn't so bad as the rear, as I spoke about. And these things, oh, I stepped on a mouse trap there. I'll add it up to, and let's go from the beginning. The tires are done. The shifter is done. The exhaust, somebody did some hackery with it. He said custom exhaust. And to me, that's a custom exhaust. Not and the pipe, the exhaust pipe on the back was not the right one for it. It was something else completely. There was a few little cosmetic things, this, that, and the other. Like, this stuff doesn't bother me. It's the mechanical aspects of the bike that I want to make sure that they're good. And there's a lot. So it would have probably costed me, from the $2,000 purchase price, so 2 in, probably another $1,000 to get it right. So we've been $3,000 into maybe a $750 bike at that point. Yes, it had 10,000 kilometers. We don't know what those kilometers are. And you have to take a look where it's stored. Oh yeah, when I was looking at it too, just had to get the mouse strap off. I took a look at the rear shock in the rear. That's where it is. Right here, as you can see. If I can get this in here, looking at it. There we go. That thing was completely rusted up. So that was because it was left outside. And obviously the bike was dirty. I don't really care about that. So there was a lot of things that were going on with the bike that, you know, it wasn't kept up, wasn't maintained. Mine are at the best. So I keep this as my level of being maintained. Yeah, we're going to pass on it. Yeah. There's just too many little things. Good bike, but not for us.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, man.
No problem. Have a nice day.
You too.
What didn't you like?
So in total, I looked at the brakes, which were a no-go, because once you get into replacing the rotors, you're like $100+ per rotor. And these things don't usually wear out. They were damaged on that bike. The tires were cracked, worn. There was no way it passed any sort of safety. So that was highly questionable for me. The electronics, like you said, he had a friend of his wired up. I don't know if I caught that on the video. There's a few other questionable things. The exhaust was not the original exhaust, and it wasn't even done properly. You could hear that the exhaust notes were coming outside of the pipe, not just going through the muffler itself. And that I can get over. Tires, again, I can get over as long as your bearings are good and stuff like that, like the neck bearings and the wheel bearings that are good. But this bike overall, from the shifting points to the bad brakes to the bad tires to being left outside to the suspension having issues, I didn't get it caught on video, but it was the suspension, the seals were leaking. So I'm just like, okay, so there's so much in this that you have to unpack. And like, if you look at the tires, there's $200. This each one, there's 400 right there. The shifting mechanism, okay, let's say $50. So we're $450 right there, and then you have to still get it safetied. So we're at $650. As long as everything else works, you're good. Bearings, you're fine. And then there'll be a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. But the fork seal itself, there's at least $200-300, maybe $400 to take it all apart, change the fluid, put it all back together. So right around $1,000, you'll be into that bike for $2,000, $3,000 total to get it right and ready for the road properly and safely. That's not a good buy. So that's why we said goodbye. And we moved on to the next bike. Part 2. Peace.